Hey everybody, so as you know, I've been in this quest to find the perfect chair and the perfect desk for an office setup. And the reason why is because we spent so much time on a desk, on a chair, working away. And part of the equation is the sitting to standing up. And this desk is a stand-up desk. It's absolutely amazing, not only because it's really affordable, but the features they come with that affordability. So let's talk about this desk by FlexiSpot. Hello and welcome. So here I am in an empty office with just a chair and a desk because I want to make sure that you guys know about these features. I have to say that this video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. That is the maker of this FlexiSpot Standing Desk. But FlexiSpot really sent the desk to us so we can basically review it. But we don't have to actually say good things or bad things. We can say whatever we want. And it's going to be unbiased. But after spending a few weeks with it, we are incredibly impressed by this desk. And when I say we, is my wife and I, because we got this for my wife specifically. And the journey goes that we were looking for a desk for her because for the longest time she's been using a small bamboo desk that I used to use back in the day. For all those that follow the channel, you would know that I actually had this bamboo desk that I used to actually shoot videos. And it was very small and very shallow, right? It was about half of this, was very close. And when you have a big monitor that will show you later, and when you have a keyboard and all these other things, the desk becomes cluttered really fast. Plus, it's basically a static desk. So what happens is that my wife and I have been working together in the business here on the YouTube for all of you together. And we spend a lot of time sitting in a desk. Now, I have a desk that goes up and down, and I love it. It's amazing. And my wife, in her previous job, used to also have a standing desk and she used to love it. But now they will work from home. All of a sudden, she didn't have it. So it felt a little bit unfair for her to be sitting for 8 hours plus and then being able to change. So we went down the journey and the rabbit hole of Google and research, and we found the FlexiSpot Standing Desk. Now, after finding it is when we contacted FlexiSpot to find out if they would be interested in sponsoring this video because we're going to buy one anyways. And thankfully it worked out, and here we are with the desk sponsored and absolutely loving it. Okay, so one of the things that I like the most, first things, is the fact that even though this desk is really light, it can carry a lot of weight on top of it. So both my wife and I tried to sit on top of it and then go up and down, and it worked flawlessly. The motor is really strong, but it's really light at the same time for a desk of this type. I think part of the lightness is because the legs are not super chunky and heavy. For mine, I actually left it really far from the wall by default because I want to be able to reach out on the back. And it looks kind of pants, and I have about this gap because of that. Now with this one, it's completely the opposite. For having a motor and metal legs and all that stuff, is extremely light, which makes it super easy to basically work behind the desk and then put your cables back, which is awesome. I never actually experienced a desk this light with motors and standing. They used to be incredibly heavy before. So it's easy to adjust it, put it back, put it in. It's really awesome. So we went under to find out exactly what was going on. And what happens is that there's this rod that actually spins the motor up and down. And I believe that there is actually two motors on each leg that go up and down and help it. And this is why the rod is actually pulling and pushing on both motors, or rotating the motors. So really cool. So on top of all that, you have this programmable controller right here that has a few more features. Now, it can go up and down, so that's really cool. It has the number to make sure that you know exactly what number is best for you. But the best thing is that if you actually kind of like go up a certain amount, so let's say I'm going to set up my standing desk position over here, and I'm looking for the 90-degree arm position for me to kind of stand up. So something along these lines, maybe a little bit higher. Once I have that position, then the only thing I have to do, like, is 111. I just have to press the button that I want to assign it to for 3 seconds. And now it says S1, which means that if I actually set up any other setting, so if I go down a little bit and I press this, it automatically does it, and it gets to the position that I set up. It's as simple as that. And then you can set up the same exact thing for sitting down, which is going to be the other button. At the moment, is not set up. And then it has a 3 and 4. Now this tool, really cool. Once again, something that I've been thinking about on mine for a while now. And there is times that you actually want something else than just standing up and sitting down. So options are always good, and this desk has a ton of options, which is great. When you actually get to the bottom of it, first and foremost, you need to have a really good chair. So this chair helps a ton. Make sure that your armrests are kind of like at 90 degrees as well. And then you're kind of looking for this position where like your arms, when you actually do this, are at 90 degrees and they're not too slouch and they're not too high. They're just at the right height. So this is basically supporting your elbows, and then this is supporting your hands as you're moving your mouse. Now you can actually go closer if you want to, but the main goal is that you are in the safe distance from your screen, that you know that your screen is far enough from your eyes and you have a straight position. Now my position right now is very straight, not because I'm forcing it to, but mainly because the chair is super high quality and is forcing me to stay straight. So the chair matters a lot, but then the desk also, the depth of the desk matters a lot as well. And having this extra depth desk, as you can tell here, allows me to put the screen right against the wall, which then means that I'll have lots of distance between here and there. And I can adjust it closer if I want to, but it's really good to have the depth. All right, so we basically took a moment. We set up the desk as my wife likes it, which is more or less this. Now that you see everything set up, you can start to see why the screen needs to be far away and why the depth of the desk is so essential. I have 2 screens in front of me. I feel like I can work like this for a long time. It's actually at the right height. I'm looking right in the middle of the screen and I can tell that it's pretty much bang on. And this is what I want to work like for a long period of time. One of the many benefits that I like, because we chose mahogany, or my wife chose mahogany, it's actually dark enough that you can actually use your mouse with no pad, which is something that I would never do, but my wife likes to use it that way. But yeah, she is quite reactive. It's a dark surface and it actually slides really well. We're using the Logitech MX Master. Now I want to talk about focus, because I think that this whole thing is basically tools, because they need to benefit you in some way, right? So if you spend the money, like what do you get from it? And to me, having a good desk, having a good chair, what equates to is more focus. Because what happens is, as you're working away, especially when you're sitting down, there's always a moment in the day that you feel a little bit groggy, slouched, like tired, and you just like, kind of like move around a little bit, but you never really find like when or how you can actually be comfortable. And this is normally when I deep in my concentration for the day. And this is why it's so essential that in those moments that I feel like I'm not focused enough, or I feel like I don't feel like working anymore, can we wrap it up, and oh my god, I still have another 3 hours to go. Those are the moments that I decide to stand up. So there's nothing better than to being able to just do this and then change your position, change your posture, walk a little bit, move around a little bit, right, as you go around. And then you can just find like a new sense of energy for the day, which is normally hard, especially when you're tired. But the fact that you can just move around and start working again, it feels like now I can focus better, right? Just this, going from sitting to standing, it makes a world of difference. All of a sudden I feel like I can focus again, and now I'm on. Now the 2 main people that I actually talk about here in this channel is going to be gamers and game developers. So for gamers, what is the benefit of doing this? Now, I am a gamer, I work with a lot of gamers, and I know that the number one thing that you do is sitting down to relax, to play your games. I do think that a standing desk helps you to, instead of actually having a back posture, because you're focusing so much on the game, every so often I actually stand up to play the game in order to basically get myself away from being so immersed in the game. So I think that's really beneficial. Now for developers, this is even more important, because we have a tendency to kind of like lose ourselves in the work that we're doing day in, day out. And the more stress you have at work, the more easy it is for you to just basically forget about your posture and just think about the stress of the work. There is nothing better to me than having one of these. So I think this is why this desk is so cool, because for all gamers, all game developers out there that have been thinking about getting a standing desk, this is relatively inexpensive. Right now they have a discount, so definitely grab one if you can. But these desks start from about £130 here in the UK. I'm guessing in dollars might be even cheaper, and they go up to £600. So you get a lot of desks for very little. This one I think it was about 400, so it's right in between, so or 300 and something. And I think it's crazy how things have changed over time, because I remember 5-10 years ago, these things used to be so expensive to get that having one was a luxury. And this is why we're so happy to actually collaborate with FlexiSpot for this one, because the one reason we're gonna get this desk is because it's affordable, it's small, it's light, it's perfect for the space that we have, which is not a lot in this room. And most importantly, it's reliable, right? Because you wanna make sure that things don't break and the engine is solid. So this is why this desk is so cool. Another pro, round corners. Mine has sharp corners. If you have kids, you will understand this. But my daughters have knocked their heads against the corners of my desk a few times. It hurts every time you see it. It hurts them, they cry, lots of drama. You don't want that. So having round corners helps you a ton to make sure that you save all of that trouble. Now, the cons. There's a few. I think the one that actually gets me the most, and it's only because I've been used to mine, is that the motor of this desk is actually slower than the one in mine. I'm used for mine to raise and lower much faster, and this one takes a little longer. However, you can offset that with the programmable buttons, because online you have to keep it pressed once again, and this one you just press it and then wait for it to rise up. It's something for you to get used to it. And once you get used to it, you actually have the time. You know exactly how long it's gonna take. You just take your desk out and do your thing. It's just that because of the difference, I kind of feel it. Another con as well is how loud the engine is. Mine has the engine built within the frame of the metal frame, which I think absorbs the sounds a bit more. While this one, because it's outside, is the rods that we showed you before, you can hear the engine much more. However, all this time we'll be putting the desk up and down, and most likely we weren't able to hear it very much. So once again, it's only because I'm used to the other desk, but practically you're not going to be hearing a lot of this up and down, because you're only going to be doing it a few times a day. So it's not a big problem. It's just mostly a pet peeve of mine, given the fact that I got used to the other one. So that's it. Those are the two cons that I have when it comes to speed and sound. And this FlexiSpot Standing Desk is highly recommended.
So my previous desk was very flimsy. Every time the girls would come over or people would walk around, it would stop moving. That was very annoying. This one is very sturdy. It's just not moving whatsoever. So it's very comfortable. It allows me to stand up and sit down whenever I want to. Like I said yesterday, I make some bread. And it's my time to sit down here to work. I sit down, but then if I don't do anything on the house and I need to work out a little bit, I stand up in front of the desk. So it helps me staying active and be more comfortable. But overall, I love it. It's very, very handy, and I've been looking forward to having one of those for a very long time. Yeah, so I'm very, very happy to have this FlexiSpot desk.
So, going at this link down below, there's an Amazon link that you can get. So it's an affiliate link, get it. And if you do get it, you get a little bit of a kickback here on the channel, which helps us a ton. So I do hope that you support the channel on that way as well. And if you do, I thank you in advance. And that's it. That's all we got for this FlexiSpot Standing Desk. Really cool. And if you do get one, drop a comment down below and let me know how much you like it. Because I love to hear feedback, pros, cons, whatever. It'd be awesome to hear what you think. But after using it for a few weeks, I highly recommend it. And I wouldn't be here in the channel doing a good review of a product if I didn't believe in it. I hope you guys know that. And until the next video, stay well, stay safe. Peace.